G'day guys, I've recently discovered an app called Adept Roll that is an absolute game changer for me as a competitive 40k player. I wanted to share that with you guys so that you guys can get in on this amazing app.
Look for the blood god.
G'day guys, before we get stuck into the video, I just wanted to show you these really cool blessings trackers by warhammerstation.com. If you'd like to pick up one, you can do so by commenting below with what you would like to see added to the blessings table. So which ability would you like to see if you could create another one yourself? So for example, you could have a reroll charges if you're able to roll triple 3+. Or you might have something like +1 to charge army-wide if you roll 2 5s. So give me your idea on what you think would make a really cool additional blessing, and then I'm going to select one person from that comment section, and I'm going to send them out one of these blessings trackers. So if you want to enter the draw to get one of these in your hands, all you got to do is chuck that comment below. With that being said, let's get stuck into the video. Alrighty, this is the home screen on the Adept Roll app, and basically what you can do here is you can put in any profile you want into this top row. So say it's 4 attacks, they hit on a 3+, their strength 5, their AP 1, and their damage 1, right? So that might be your profile, and you might have 4 guys with that profile. And then you're attacking into things that are toughness 3 with 1 wound, 5-up save, and no invulnerable save, right? Once you put that in, you can hit process results, and the Adept Roll app will calculate how many dead models there would be and how much damage you are likely to do. So if you're targeting a single vehicle or something like that, it'll give you the damage, and if you target the a unit, it'll tell you how much dead models, or something like, say it's a vehicle or something like that. You can put in the profile of whatever it is that you're attacking into, that you want to know how much damage you're going to do, hit process, and it'll tell you that you're going to do 1.8 wounds with that profile, that top profile, into that. So this is a really neat way that you can sort of get some information and expected results. One of the other things that it'll do in this process results screen is it gives you all these charts, so you can put a chart here which will tell you the probability of it doing certain damage. So it's telling us here that there's 100% chances, or close enough to 100% chance that you'll do 1 wound. There's lower chance of 2 wounds, lower of 3, lower of 4, so on and so forth, all the way down to there's a slight potential you're going to do 6, and that allows you to make better decisions on the tabletop. But that's not all. This app is absolutely crazy. What you can do is you can preload a whole bunch of information on here. So you might preload what Khan the Betrayer and a squad looks like. Hit load, that'll load it into here. So you've got Khan with his Gore Child, you've got the 8 guys with the Berserker Chainblades, and the 2 guys with the Eviscerators. And then you can load Defenders as well. So you might go, cool, what's that do into the Avatar of Cain? And you go in here, and now it's loaded the Avatar of Cain down there. And then you can process the results, and it will calculate how much damage Khan and his unit is likely to do to a unit. So it's going to kill 0 models, dead models, but the damage it's going to do, it gives you all of the information there. Really cool way of processing your information. You can also, in here, you can add various things like +1 hit, rerolls. So for example, Khan's unit has reroll 1s to hit and reroll 1s to wound. So there's tons of different modifiers you can add to each profile, and the same goes for the Avatar, which should have half damage selected, so that those numbers were a bit off because I hadn't set it up correctly. But you can basically put in any modifiers that are going to be in play and place them all into the app, and then it will calculate all of that information for you. You can also, in this load screen up the top here, if I click that, you can go into imports, and you can basically go through any detachment, any faction, view their units, and then add them in. So you might go, cool, let's just add a squad of Orc Boys. You select the Orc Boys, you import selected units, import summary, and then when you're back here and you want to load your defenders, you've got boys, and you can hit load, and then go back to here, and that's your profile for your Orc Boys. So it's really, really cool. You got to check a few of these things because obviously the imports from Battlescribe, etc., so they're not always fully complete and fully accurate. But my God, is this app an absolute time saver, both on the day when you're trying to make decisions, but also when planning your lists, because you can put a unit in your army when the idea is for them to solve a particular challenge, but if you don't, if you haven't run the numbers, maybe they don't solve the challenge you think they do. So this is a really neat way of working that sort of stuff out. But that's the nuts and bolts of the app. There's a ton of features on there, particularly if you buy the premium version. But I just wanted to show you guys the basics, and I highly recommend digging in, downloading the app, and having a play around with it. So there you have it, guys. Adept Roll is an absolutely fantastic app that's going to really help boost your play. There's two main ways that I see using this. One of them is pre-game. So when you're, say you've been paired into a certain person and you've got 15 minutes up your hands and you want to start planning things out in advance, you can look at key units in their army, key units in your army, and figure out what expected results are going to be. And that's going to allow you to make much better decisions when you get to the tabletop, because you're going to now know that maybe Khan and his unit isn't quite enough to kill that avatar, so you need to make sure you're throwing in some 8-bound or throwing in Angron or throwing in somebody in addition. And it allows you to prevent those situations where you charge something and you don't do the amount of damage you would have hoped to do, because it gives you a much more accurate expectation of what damage you can do. So you can use it in that regard. You can also use it mid-game, where you've got your unit, you've got two options of what you could charge, and you can go quickly, I'm just going to run the numbers for those two units. It literally takes seconds, so even if you're on a chess clock, this is an app that's going to be faster than you sitting there and trying to think and calculate it all yourself, and it's going to be more accurate. So you can whip out Adept Roll, you can punch in the data sheet that you're about to attack into on this side, and be like, oh, if I hit there, I'm only going to kill like 6 models, and then they're going to survive. Whereas if I go over here, I'm much more likely to wipe the unit out, so I'm going to make that decision, right? So it's going to allow you to make quick decisions on game day, but also it's a really, really useful tool for before the event even takes off. When you're sitting at home, you're writing your lists, and you're like, cool, there's lots of guard players, so I need to be able to kill Rogel Dawn. Does 3 Exalted 8-bound reliably do it? No. Okay, cool. Now I know that because I ran the numbers, I put it in Adept Roll, and Adept Roll said that on average, I'm not going to kill that Dawn, in which case I need something that can much more effectively kill a Dawn, or I need to be able to develop a game plan so that when I do face that guard player, I can throw multiple units into that Dawn. So you can sort of use it whilst writing your lists to make sure that your list does contain all of the necessary elements to achieve those big kills that you're looking for. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think this app is an absolute game changer, and it's something that I have used almost every day since I downloaded it. Just while I'm at work on the toilet, sitting there and being like, I wonder if Angron kills Magnus on average, or what's his percentage chance? Because that's one of the other things with this app. Not only does it give you the average expected, but it actually gives you the percentage chance. So it'll tell you you are 40% of the time going to kill your target. It'll give you those numbers. So you can sit there and you can look at it and go, okay, cool. If I know that those percentages, I can then go, well, I need to make sure that my list has something that can kill Magnus, or it can kill a Catan or something like that. So you can sort of use it whilst writing your list to make sure that you have all the tools you need, and then you can use it on the day to make sure that you're using those tools correctly. And it's going to be an absolute game changer. I can't believe it's taken this long for somebody to develop something this amazing, and now that they have, I really want to get the word out there. So let me know what you guys think. Download the app, have a play around with it. Let me know if there's any features, because I've only recently sort of downloaded it and been playing around with it, and there's absolutely so many features in this with integration. You can take photos of data sheets or screenshots of data sheets and upload them, and it immediately converts that into data for the app. There's tons of really cool stuff that you can do in this app. So give it a download. I'll chuck a link in the description and check it out. Let me know what you guys think. of this app, and if you think it's something that you can see yourself using in games going forward. All right, with that being said, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Cheers.
The Warhammer community suffers from some of the most prohibitively expensive essentials in the world, especially Australian content creators. Every single day, Dean wants to create content, but he can't. Suffering from old, worn-out brushes, expensive model kits, and costly software and equipment he can't endure much longer. Just look at this dirty paint water. Would you drink this? Would you let your child? Even a small monthly donation can help provide Dean with clean paint water, basic tools for survival, and access to life-saving information and education. So please, follow the links in the description below and find out how you can sponsor a mad cunt like Dean today and end the suffering. Suffering that is cruel, unsustainable,